Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Green Impact Partners channel, strategically positioned to lead the transition to basically a green and sustainable economy, which we're going to find out today. Forefronting this entire industry, we got Chief Executive Officer Jesse Douglas. Welcome back, as always, sir.
Great to see you, Kyle.
You as well. So today we're going to kind of hone in on the commodity that is natural gas and how it's such a major proponent for the future of your business. And I pulled up some stats that I'm just going to show really quick, kind of surrounding the bullish thesis behind a lot of what you're doing in the RNG sector here. We're going to come back to this slide, but I just want to talk about this Enbridge.com here when they briefly talk about the natural gas use in Canada, because apparently natural gas is the principal household energy source for Albertans at 77%, whereas 70% of household energy use in Saskatchewan, 58% in Ontario, 52% in British Columbia, and 49% in Manitoba. This is a huge proponent of the Canadian economy, which you guys are a large part of, while you also expand into the US. But I think what people underestimate about kind of this utility setup in the natural gas sector is as the Canadian economy expands, all these different sectors based in these markets are going to do exceptionally well, because obviously with the hot real estate market, the lack of supply, as they try and fill that demand, there's just going to be more and more use cases for natural gas. And I think people don't realize that Canada, from a population percentage basis, is growing faster than the United States and even India currently. But what I want to ask you about here is what your general thoughts are on the commodity price itself. Nat gas has pulled back slightly coming into this year, but still sitting at relative great highs for margins. But what are your thoughts on the current price action?
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, for those investing in natural gas, certainly I'm long on its midterm use for sure, and it is definitely a cleaner fuel and a cleaner way of producing energy, which is the driver of why it's such a big user of fuel in North American households. Using natural gas to transition from coal is a great way to do it. And where we really play in that is we're actually transitioning people off of natural gas and onto renewable gas, and using the exact same distribution system that's in there. So every dollar that natural gas goes up certainly reflects to us in a major way. But we are pushing through those same pipelines, and as the expansion and need for natural gas goes up, actually the demand for RNG goes up at a disproportionate rate to that.
Yeah, that's a great point. And just kind of expanding farther on that, the renewable natural gas side of it, coming out of your presentation that we kind of had open here when we started showing these little data points for the carbon intensity. I mean, when you take a look at this chart and just kind of generalize exactly what's going on here, just give us some insights on this, because I thought this was a great point as well.
Yeah, what we're talking about here is that really because the driver of natural gas really is methane capture from things that biodegrade in our landfills or through our farming industry and things like that. If we don't capture that methane, it's seeping into the environment. And it is between 127 and 27 times, depending on whether you measure it at 1 year or 100 years, worse for the environment than carbon. And so if we can use that methane that we're now capturing, removing from a pollution point, and put it into an energy source that we're already using in a massive way and is growing, it has growing use in a massive way as it's transitioning from dirtier fuels, we're making a disproportionate impact by doing that. And it is right now, of all of the available mainstream sources of energy, it is by far, and as you can see by the graph, kind of between 10 and 30 or 40 to 50 times better than even the renewable fuels that are out there from an environmental perspective. And it's easier to distribute. We have the existing infrastructure there for natural gas, and we have increasing demand for natural gas right now. So the thesis on RNG, if you like natural gas, you should really like RNG.
Yeah, and I guess also on that point too, that gives you the access to the carbon credits outside of the traditional kind of oil and gas framework, correct? Yeah, that's pretty incredible. But if you guys enjoy these kind of conversations, let us know what you think about this in that comment section below. Consider subscribing for the updates as news comes down the wire for Green Impact Partners. We'll release it right here for you. But in light of this, Jesse, I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you, Kyle.
Always a pleasure. Stay cool, stay awesome, and I look forward to catching you in the next one.